What's going on, YouTube? What's happening with everybody and what's happening out there? It's your boy Harlem, and I'm back again with another video. So, on today's video, I just want to break down how I missed $1 million trades yesterday, Tuesday, the 6th of September 2022 could have been one of my best trading days in my trading journey. So I'm gonna break down how this trades went on 10 fucking pairs. Could y'all think of it? On 10 fucking pairs, a nigga could have won 10 fucking pairs. Without better ado, let's just hop in, hit the charts, and continue to trust the process. So on the NASDAQ, because y'all know on Monday it was a holiday. Let me try and put my phones far away from the link. Because on Monday it was a holiday. We all know it. On Monday, it was Labor Day in the United States. I guess and I pray everybody enjoyed their days. So with the NAS, now on Monday, price was just moving sideways. Coming on Tuesday, because now I saw now price closing bullish. And on our outlook, we say we're simply looking to take buys off of that zone once you have that bullish momentum kicking in. But we did find the bullish momentum kicking in, and I was like, you know what? Let me just hop in on the 4H. So now looking at the 4H, this was Monday, the 5th. This was Monday, boom, 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 boom. Just had the sideways movement. Coming Tuesday, I saw now on Tuesday, yeah, this was Tuesday. I saw now the 4H had a momentum candle on market open on Tuesday. Your phone. We had this bullish momentum candle, and I was like, from a bullish momentum candle, I'm expecting a continuation to what? To the upside, because that's what we say. We're waiting for what? For price to give us a clear indication, because we now have our double bottom. We're simply waiting for the momentum to kick in and continue what? Moving to the upside. But now this is a bit tricky. If you know the NAS, if you've been trading NAS for quite a long time, you won't understand what had been going on yesterday. But this is technical. No fundamentals, no tricks, no blowing accounts, no trapping of traders or anything like that. That everyone keeps saying this is pure technical and pure price action. I'm gonna break it down. So obviously, we now had our momentum, market open, Asian session. We're now having price moving sideways, and London session. We had what price closing above. There's two candles. The close. This candle closes two candle close this level. You feel me? What I'm trying to show y'all. Price closed above the very same zones, the very same candles. With that, I was like, I'm looking for a continuation move to the upside. And there was nothing else which I was expecting. So hopping to the 1H because now everything happened on the 1H specifically, and I'm gonna come back again and try to break down what might potentially happen for today. And you guys know this is a disclaimer, no financial advice or anything like that. You feel me? Everything I do or say is based off of my own psychology, my own experience, and my own emotions, and how I handle everything and how I see everything and continue moving with everything. So hop into the 1H. So okay, we had the sideways movement once again yesterday. On Monday, I mean, yeah. I'm trying to find where the market closed. Yeah, this is where it closed. So we closed above this correction. What I was looking for is a continuation to what? To the upside. So now price moved in a sideways and broke to the upside, having a momentum candle. There's two candlesticks. When I woke up around 9 a.m., I won't lie, I woke up around 9 a.m. or 2 a.m., somewhere here. I saw this candle, boom, and I was like, yes, I'm handling a momentum candle. Meaning when I wake up, when I'm now ready to trade on 9 a.m., because I always trade the London session, I'll be more comfortable to take continuation trades to the upside. You feel me? So I had this candle and this candle, and the price continuing to the upside, coming back again. So now on the London session, I saw this two indecision candles. This candle is a potential reversal candle, which pushes price to the upside, but it's also tricky. And I had this indecision candle, and I waited for what? For a pre-London momentum candle. Pre-London momentum candle. People, it's important to find or to wait and see what happens in the pre-session, in the pre-trading session, and in the open of that very same session, whether it's the Asian, the London, or the Tokyo, the Sydney, whatever session that you might be trading. But I prefer two trading sessions, London and New York, because I can't say much. Okay, so we saw our pre London candle, momentum candle. I waited for what? The London session to simply trade above this candle. And I took my trade with home. And I took my trade, stop below this zone from the 15th minute. And I was like, yeah, price couldn't break the zone. Because now price couldn't break this, couldn't close above this level. It simply took off the highs. Now something is happening because I took a trade and I went out. I was like, you know what? I'm going in. I went in, boom. When the candle became full, I closed I closed the trade and I left the run. You feel me? But unfortunately, price came back in and I had to just close it as it is because I saw that, like, you know what? Price took the highs out. So we took price pushed, printing a high, exhausted, printing a higher low, and pushed again on this very same high. But now, because this high was took out by this rejection candle, we obviously was expecting a what? A potential reversal or continuation to the downside. So marking out this zone, we're having a clean double top. You feel me? So now with this double top, price took the highs out. And I was like, you know what? I ain't buying no more. I ain't looking to go long. I ain't looking to go bullish. Price is failing to break this very same level and having some sort of bullish depletion. You feel me? So what I did was, again, I printed out this high. So we're having an intraday correction right there. Price is moving sideways in an intraday on our London session, on our Asian, London, and pre-New York. You feel me? So now all I waited for price to simply break the lows. You feel me? That was just what I waited for price to simply break the higher lows, and took my trade, simple trade. You feel me? So now we had, okay, now this was London session. I took a trade and I went out 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Now on an hour before pre-New York, price tried again trading bullish, but unfortunately took the highs again out and closed above and closed below the very same level, giving us a clean double top, cleanest double top, the cleanest double top. I repeat, the cleanest double top. You feel me? The cleanest double top. And I took, okay, we had this, and I waited for what? For the bearish momentum to kick in. We had it pre-London, pre-New York, and again the pre-New York, which is basically like London Open, which is basically like New York Open. You feel me? So now on the New York session, the New York Open, which is 3 p.m., 15:30 in Southern Africa, you feel me? I was like, I'm gonna head down to the 15th minute. So this is the okay, this is the New York Open 15-minute. 15, we had a close below the very same zone. So I waited for for the New York Open. I waited for the New York Open. I waited for the NY Open. I waited for the NY Open. I waited for the NY Open, guys. I waited for the NY Open. I patiently waited for the NY open. I didn't just want to instantly execute a trade based off of what I saw. You feel me? I simply waited for a break and retest. You feel me? And we did have it. So I took a trade when now this candle traded bullish on the New York Open. I waited for it to come back again and trade below the very same zone, and I took my trade. And now we're now clean, but I went for a regular 101. I won't lie. I went for a regular 101. A regular 101. Somewhere right there. That's why I took my TP. Somewhere right there. But it was a regular 101. You feel me? So now when I took this trade, I took it based on a simple break and retest of the intraday, off of the intraday time frames. You feel me? Intraday time frames, that's why I took a trade. This is just pure price action, and technically, then this is pure technical analysis. You feel me? So let me repeat this. On the NAS, price printed a higher, higher low on intraday zones, on intraday level, on intraday time frames, higher high, higher low. Price took the highs. We was expecting a new higher high. Price took the highs out, and we started having some bullish depletion and some bearish momentum, and it took a trade. Boom, a regular 101. So now today, because now price is trading below those highs, trading below the lows, all I'm simply waiting for my session is for price to simply fail to break the zone. And I'm gonna take a clean regular 101 again. Oh, it's a 102. Oh, it's 102. Yeah, and I'm gonna take a clean regular 102 for price now to tap in that zone, supply, demand, whatever that you say. To me, it's a simple breakout, simple break, retest, push to the downside, come back again for a double top, and have a strong momentum to push to the downside. Boom. I'm simply waiting for what the price to trade again off of the zone, fail to break or fail to continue to the upside. We continue moving to the downside. So that's how I saw my trade on the NAS, and that's how I see a potential movement or continuation to the downside. So on gold, this it was simple. This was simple, 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 simple. This was Monday. Oh, this was Tuesday. Monday, we also had the same shit. Price was not giving us that momentum that we was looking for. Price was simply moving sideways, you feel me, until it broke to the upside. Until now, price broke the correction to the upside, giving us a 1 and a 2 touching our trend line without. Okay, what I actually waited for, it was for price to trade below, above this zone, and to trade outside the trend line or the brick wall before to take a continuation trade to the upside. But price broke out, broke back in, giving us a double top on our intraday time frames again, giving us a double top. And I waited for price to simply break the lows. I waited for price to simply break the what? The lows, and we took a continuation trade to the downside. But this was just an analysis which I had yesterday. You phone me. This was just an analysis I had yesterday. You understand me? I had this analysis yesterday. I didn't take a trade. Like I said on the video, I didn't take those trades. I didn't take those trades, but this was just a simple, pure price action. Price came back. Price tried pushing to the upside, failing to break the brick wall, trading bearish, trying to push bullish, trading bearish again, coming back again, giving us a double top, failing to go make those highs, closing strongly bearish and closing and breaking these lows, taking these lows out and having another candle which traded below those very same lows, and it took a continuation trade to the upside. So what I see today, it's a double top, it's a double bottom. So price came to the zone. Now you feel me. So now when price came back to the zone, we had this rejection candle. I had this rejection candle, and I had a bullish candle. And I waited for what? For this candle. This candle opened bearish. Let me do this. This candle opened bearish, and now it's trading bullish. That's what I waited for price to have a reversal. You feel me? From a bear open to a bullish close. That's just how I took a trade, and that's just how I see a continuation trade to the upside. So this will be my phase 2P, TP1, TP2, and I'm leaving a runner. You feel me? And I'm gonna leave a few runners and just let the trades go. as is. So breaking down the trade again, price traded bullish, touched the brick wall, broke out, broke in, closed below the very same brick wall, and we had a bear continuation. Price tried making those highs but failed. Continued bearish print in the low, coming back again, trying to push high, failing to break, giving us a double top. We waited to simply to have this bear momentum and for price to close below the very same lows to take continuation trades to the downside. That's just how it is. German 30. So now German 30, because because now German 30, the market was open. I simply saw, okay, my bad again. Yeah, I simply had this on German 30 yesterday. When I looked at the charts, but I had it right there like this. I had it like this, somewhere like this. Yeah, I had it like this. I remember very well. Yeah, something like this. So to me now, price was trading in a bullish channel before me on German 30. So now yesterday on this very same zone, I saw price trading off the zone. Let me do this and try and make you all understand it. I saw price painting out this intraday support level, if you can understand what I'm trying to mean. Price now printed this high, double top, spike, bullish move, and price came back again. So we had a support and on our break wall. So it's two confluences which I had before. I waited for the third confluence, which was now with this price trying to break out, break in, closing bullish. We actually waited for this bullish close and actually said on our pre-London, we'll actually have what a bullish continuation to the upside. And we actually had it. The foam, and we actually had that. And now I also had this, I also had something like this. If I remember very well, I also had something like this. Yeah, I think I also had something like this, but I didn't use it as much. I simply used the brick walls. You feel me? So we actually took a trade like this. I simply waited for what? For price to trade above this rejection. The pre-London, the pre-New York close, the pre-London close, and actually took the trade. But now with that said, I saw that like we're having some bullish depletion on the pre-New York and we're having some bear momentum. I actually said I'm simply waiting for what? I'm gonna simply took trades once price breaks the brick wall, retest, and continue moving to the downside. You feel me? So German 30, we simply took the buys from here, from this zone, all up the way to this rejection, which was a 1.23%, 157, 180 pips, 160 pips, I would say. And actually saw price trading bearish on what? On our London, on our New York session. So now, because we're looking at we're on our pre-New York, on our pre-London, I'm simply now seeing price printing out this rejection and trying to push to the upside. So what I'm simply waiting for now on current price, if this will play out the way I see it, I'm having this rejections. I'm having this rejections off of the zone. You feel me? I'm just simply waiting for price to fail to go make the highs and give me that bullish depletion and bear momentum and take continuation trades to the downside. That's just how it is, and that's just how I see German 30 today. Looking at US 30, US 30 was simple. Price has been trading off the zone like the NAS, but we had something like this. People always say, please know your patterns, know your reversals, know your continuations, and know everything, candlesticks, time frames, patterns, everything that builds confluence or that builds momentum or that makes you have confidence to take a trade. So now I had something like this. You all know what's this. Push, correction, breakout, retest, continuation to the downside. Push, correction, breakout, retest, continuation to the downside. So price has been trading off of this correction and it broke out on the New York Open and breaking the lows, boom. and broke the very same lows. So with this, we simply took a trade, but this was a bit risky because now price was having this lows. We simply waited for what? For a break and a retest off of the zones, somewhere right there, and we took a trade, a continuation trade to the downside. Before we took a trade, continuation to the downside, somewhere right here, off of the zone. That's where we took a trade. That's where we took TP, but I didn't take a trade, but I always analyzed it. So it's important that if though you don't take a trade, just analyze and see that if the market moves like this and I take a trade like this, what will happen? Back test and forward test everything that you do. We had a breakout, retest, continuation to the downside. So what I see now on my New York, on my session on current price, I'm simply waiting for what? For price to print whatever high, whatever lower high it want to print to break the lows, retest, and take continuation trade to the upside. I won't buy price if it trades bullish, or I'll try taking shorts or sells from that zone once price failing or gives me a depletion to continue moving to the downside. That's the US 30. Looking at USD CAD, one of my favorite pairs. USD CAD, obviously, we did say that like price is trying to create some support level off of the resistance which we broke, which we were trading from for quite a long time. What we actually waited for, it was like for price to give us some momentum. But unfortunately, we just had price trading bullish. USD CAD was just a no-go for me. USD CAD was a no-go for me, but I could have took a trade based on it was price printing a low, printing a high, printing a low, not lower than the previous high, potential reversal, wait for a bullish close to take a trade before me. So if you understand, price was now moving in what? Higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. So looking at current price, we have price printing this high, trading bearish, coming back again to the very same high. What I'm simply waiting for is for price to give me that bullish depletion for potential double top, or to break the highs, retest to continue moving to the upside because the dollar is also showing us some strength even today. Before me, Tesla was the only tech which was trading bullish yesterday. It was also a no go for me. Now looking at Bitcoin, one of my favorite pairs, one of my favorite crypto pairs, crypto pairs, crypto pairs, crypto pairs, crypto, 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 crypto pairs. Price has been trading sideways for like 3 weeks or two. Can't remember very well. Let's just try and check from the 27th of August all the way to the 6th of September. It's 2 weeks basically. Price has been trading off this zone. On my outlook, on my weekly outlook, I did say that this is a no-go until price breaks out either to the upside or to the downside. But unfortunately, or fortunately, because we don't lose as traders, as retail traders. If price goes to the upside, we take it, we move to the upside. If it goes to the downside, we also move with price to the downside. So now because price is trading in what? In our support zone, price is back in our support zone and it's showing us some momentum. And if you know what's a wedge, you can tell that this is a falling wedge. Break, retest, continue to the upside. But now, obviously, what I see, it's based off of the daily time frame. You follow me? Price has been trading off the zone for quite some time, and we did break to the downside. Now, because price is trading in support, I'm simply waiting for price to do what? To retest that zone to continue moving to the downside, which is simply buying the dip and buying support. You follow me? We buy the dip and we buy support. We buy the dip and we buy support. What I'm simply waiting for on this pair is for price to not trade above this rejections to indicate a bullish continuation, and this will be my TP right there. Fail to move to the upside, you know what to do. It's a retest. We take what? Continuation trades to the downside. You form. So this is Bitcoin. You form. This is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is simply waiting for what? For potential retest and continue moving to the downside, or for price to break support, retest support to continue moving to the downside. Ethereum, Ethereum was holding this bullish channel. Ethereum was having this bullish channel, which price broke out, broke the zone, retested inside the zone, and continued to the downside. So with this, I simply waited for this candle to close below the rejections. And this is a clean trade. This is a clean trade to take. Break, close below, close, okay, break below, close above, break below, close below, continuation to the downside. So looking at current price, price broke out intraday, price broke out support zone, which I was holding. You follow me? So obviously with the breakout, I simply wait for a retest for continuation trade to the downside on Ethereum. You follow me? That's just how it is, or that's just how I could have took my trades. Bitcoin, I did say there's nothing for me to do until price trades off this resistance, key level, or support zone before me. That's just how it is, because now price broke and traded impulsively to the downside. I'm simply waiting for price to retest the key level, simply to trade below off of it, to take continuation trades to the downside until we reach our support zone before me. Last but not least, oil. Oil, we did say that because now on our outlook, price was trading off of that zinc somewhere around there, somewhere here. I simply waited for now price. I was simply waiting for what? For break of resistance, retest to continue to the upside. But now price broke out, broke back in, retested below, and traded bearish. You follow me? And traded bearish. If you understand this, please, man, please drop a comment or say something. Price broke this price broke resistance, broke back in, retested below, tried moving bearish, came back again to the very same zone, and came back again to the very same zone. And this was a big continuation to the downside. So now this was just a basic trade, pure price action. Everything I do, there's no fundamental, it's just pure price action and pure technical. So current price, so now on current price, when I now analyzed and took this bear move to the downside, I simply waited for what? For price to simply bounce off the zone, this bounce, this one. I simply waited for something like this to continue to the upside, which is simply buying support, or something like what? This break, retest, continue to the downside. So because now this is a fail, I'm trying to see this if it will work out. If price will give me that continuation to the downside, I will see it. But if price trades back in, I'll simply wait for retest above to continue to the upside. So people, that's just how it is. That's just how I wake up to analyze my trades, or that's just how I break down my trades. So it's your boy Harlem once again. You all know what it is, and you know how life has been. You feel me? So um I'm not trying to do anything or trying to promote my shit. I'm not trying to do anything or promote my shit, because you know what I always say. I don't want you to view it or what. I'm not looking for you to subscribe or to like or to do anything. But I just pray and just always make it a virtue or a prayer for me that someone takes what I'm trying to break down, not to use it as their sources of investment or how they can invest, but if they can actually take it the way they understand, if they can take something from what I'm trying to break down and build off of what they using, they can just excel before me. So if, for instance, I trade breakout reaches before me and I wait for a potential double top, bottom before I take a continuation to the upside, and someone trades an impulsive move to the upside and they see a video of me waiting for what? Price to break out to retest, to continue to the upside, come back again to retest that very same zone to give us an intraday support or a double bottom to continue to the upside. Someone will take something and be like, oh, I'm always taking impulsive breakouts. Where the price breaks out or close backs in, I don't care. I take a breakout. You boom, they would learn something and understand and be like, okay, how long waits for a double bottom or a support zone to be created or a retest to form before it continues to the upside. I used to take an impulsive move. That means I need to do what? Wait for something like this. Not to say it will work out or it does actually work out, but 90% of the time or 98% of the time, this is what I do. This is what I use. Without further ado, people, it's your boy Halom. You all know what it is. You all know how we do it. You all know how we rock, and you all know how life has been. You boom. Without further ado, you all know it. My session ends now. I love y'all and I care about y'all. And yeah, that's just how it is. It's your boy Halom, and that's all I got. Peace and love. I'm out.